also pray for Nigeria Armed Forces. Pray for them. When I say pray, I'm a prophet. I will give you messages that are in the realm of the spirit, because I am seeing what's called a weakening the more, and people are going to be resigning in masses. In masses. And they begin to hear, oh, 100 people has resigned 1 hour ago. 1,000 people have put a letter to resign. This, that, and this one, that. I don't know why all of these things is about to now begin to now sweep in the area of what's called armed forces on this country. What's this all about? And what's the cause of all these things? We need to pray. We need to stand in the gap to pray as people who know how to pray, and people who will always look at the face of God and pray the prayer. What's the meaning of this? We need to pray. We need to pray, and people who are in charge of them should do them well. Do them well, because this was called the things happening in the realm of the spirit. A major prophet of God is giving the prophecy the way they are, because when I give the prophecy the way they are, don't get angry with me. It's not me. This is what's called a gift of God upon the face of the earth, that the world should hear the voice of the Lord and be able to hearken unto the creator of heaven and earth, and know what God has put in stock for his people, and what God wants to say out. The people of God all over the world should be able to now put their hands together and now begin to do the right thing that they need to do, because I know that the spiritual realm control the physical realm. Major prophet of God is not a curse. I am a blessing, and I remain a blessing till tomorrow. Whether you agree with me or not, you like me or not, you follow me or not, you believe in me or not, major prophet of God is a blessing to the planet Earth. Somebody was showing me, say, oh, look at this activist was given a position to be an ASP, assistant commissioner of police, or something like that, or assistant what, I don't know. But in the realm of the physical, the Lord said the highest office that is needed in the whole wide world, especially in United Nations, apart from giving the major prophet of God the peace ambassador, that is too small. What they should look for is what's called the office of seer, the office of a prophet for the whole world. So when they have to what's called a United Nations meeting, a prophet should be able to stand there and pray for them and tell them things. Tell them things. Tell them things. There are things that are in 20 years that major prophet will not say now, because it has not entered what's called the switch of the happening. There are things also that are contained in the 30 years, 50 years, 100 years, that if major prophet of God begin to say it now, some of you will say, oh, what a nonsense. What he's saying is he's talking out of sense. It's not talking out of sense. It's what's called things written in the realm of the spirit that are going to be in the realm of the physical. Believe it or not, agree it or not, because when it comes to prophecy, that's what's called the eye that will see it all. And this eye that will see it all is called the eye of the Lord. And don't forget, the Bible says the eye of the Lord is upon everywhere. There's no place that is a hidden place. There's no place that's a hidden place. So we need to pray for the armed forces of the country, because I'm seeing people resigning in a mass. This was called mass resignation. We need to pray about this matter, because this matter is very, very important. But you know, people will not take this prophecy serious. They will look at it and say, oh, forget about it. Forget about this prophecy. But take my prophecy serious. Take my prophecy serious. Take my prophecy serious. Because it is the Lord giving us grace to preview into the future before they begin to happen. If that month ago I was given the prophecy about Ghana election, what will it take the president of Ghana to say, please, let's welcome, let's invite the major prophet of God to come to government house. A major prophet of God will come to the government house, and they'll say, oh, major prophet, we had the prophecy about a presidential candidate not to be complete on the day of election, that we should pray about it. What shall we do? And then the voice of the Lord will tell us at that moment, because this was called people recognizing God and the position of God. When you put God last, you will be last. If you put God first, you will be first. If you put God by the side, you will throw yourself away by the side. If you put God in front, you will be in the front. Because God is the way maker. God is the leader. God is the director. God is life. God is everything. God is all and all. And that is why if a country wants to succeed, if a nation wants to succeed, if the world want to have peace, the world must have a special office for a prophet. I'm not talking about the highest religious leader. Religious leadership is different from what I'm saying. What I'm saying is not about religion. What I'm saying is not about, it's the biggest church. What I'm saying is about the things of the spirit. Because spiritual things are spiritual things. You must always do whatever you are doing. As long as it concerns spiritual things, we must take it extremely serious because of spiritual things. Because of what's called architectural reshufflement. Architectural collapse. Architectural collapse. We need to pray about this matter because it's very, very important. Very, very important. Very, very important. Major prophet of God will never come here to prophesy what I am not sure of. It is what the Spirit has spoken to my ears that the major prophet of God will come here to prophesy. So we need to give God the glory, give him the honor, give him the majesty for giving us this opportunity that we can be hearing his voice. The word of God should be sufficient for us. When God has used his servant to prophesy, we should take it at high extreme. I know I'm going to be in Ghana next week, and especially the administration right there in Ghana. Don't forget that Ghana program is every month of November. The program is starting on the 4th, and the major prophet of God is going to be live and direct there next week, Wednesday and Thursday, to minister and to preach and to also prophesy and to also digest everything that is in the realm of the spirit to the realm of the physical, because Ghana election and what's going to happen in Ghana election is already boiled and is already settled, and we have seen what is already happening, and we need to continue to pray for the rest of the candidates. We need to also continue to pray for the rest of the candidates, because this one that happened for us, that just happened 2 days ago, is just a sign of what is there. That is not the main target. This one that happened just few days ago about one of the presidential candidates is not all. That one is just what's called a sign. We need to pray for the main people, especially the first and the second and the third and the fourth. This was called first, second, and third. The third biggest contestant, from the first biggest contestant to fourth biggest contestant. These are the four that need to be prayed for. Because when I'm saying these things, I'm giving this prophecy, I'm not giving any prophecy, oh, I hate this person, I love this person, or this is my brother, or that is not my brother. I don't know any of you. I don't know who you are. And I'm not interested. What I'm interested is to see things for you and tell it to you so that you pray and figure your things out. If you have access to major prophet of God, you reach out to major prophet of God. If you don't have access to major prophet of God, figure it out yourself the way it is in the realm of the spirit. Because God will ever remain God, and God can never come down from his standard to be anything. We need to pray, because what I told you is what's called a violence, and that violence is what's called this was called people face to face attacking each other in Ghana election. So we need to pray for the presidential candidates. You have seen it a month ago, prophesied, and you've seen it. This one that happened is not the main target. The main target is still there. And this main target is in the class of the biggest contestant, the ruling party, the opposition, the third, and the fourth. We need to pray about this matter, because this is a matter that major prophet of God cannot be a prophet in Africa, and especially Ghana, that has my interest, and that will keep mute in their election. That was why in Nigerian election, when the election was boiling here and there, and people were prophesying, a major prophet of God, I was taking it one by one, things that were played out. When I said this was called a Muslim, I said this was called rough handle. You people say, major prophet, there is a beaver, there is a beaver, and there is a beaver. I told you what's called beaver. This was called tussle power. This was called the power of bidding. I told you everything. and you commonized my word. And I told you the position of everybody. You commonized my words. I remember the way the thing was captured. He said, sorry, he will do everything, but he can't win. Sorry, he cannot win. And people were lambasting me here and there. I said, because the person we all are fighting and struggling, oh, we want a good man, did that, is going to be in the third position, right on this altar the prophecy was given. And they were like, oh, how can this be? Major prophet, you are this time around we will catch you. You can't catch God. God is a spirit. There's no amount of grab. You say, oh, yeah, let me go and hold God. As you grab yourself. Because God is a spirit. There's nothing you want to do to dare the authority of heaven, the authority of Creator. Creator is the one that created you. You are not the one that created him. If you are the one that created him, you can say, okay, because I created you, I can do otherwise. You didn't create him. Somebody said, maybe do juju. What is juju? What is juju? Can juju stand where even myself blink my eye? Can juju stand? The juju, can it stand where I blink my eye? Not to talk about the spirit in me. Blinking the eye of the spirit. Juju what? Juju cannot stand where I blink my eye. Only me, as a servant of God, blink my eye. What type of juju on the planet Earth can stand? The ocean cannot stand. The mountain cannot stand. The forest cannot stand. The wind cannot stand. You didn't hear what happened that day? They were right there in a boat, and the storm took over the boat, and everybody was tossed up and down. Until Peter went to him and said, "Carest thou that he would perish?" And he stood up and rebuked the wind. And the wind and the storm and everything, they quiet immediately. They sang a song. Ahamado gini kibo, ahamado gini kibo. Ekwesu nuru ya boso, ahamado gini kibo. Ebini miri nuru ya teredu, ahamado gini kibo. Ahamado gini kibo, ahamado gini kibo. Ahamado gini kibo, ahamado gini kibo. Ajawa nuru ya teredu, ahamado gini kibo. Ebini miri nuru ya boso, ahamado gini kibo. Ahamado gini kibo, ahamado gini kibo. Shaparada. So that is who I am talking about. Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who have paid our price. The God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the creator of heaven and earth. So when Major Prophet of God, I am here giving you prophecies of things that will happen. Take my prophecies serious. Don't take it for granted. Because too much of doubt is the problem. I tell you things, you say, oh, don't forget. I tell you things, you say, oh, forget. I tell you things, you say, oh, I forget. And that is why you forgot what's called a presidential candidate. To not be complete, to be missing. They should pray. And Ghana forget. You Ghana, you forgot. You didn't say, oh, Major Prophet, this prophecy is direct. That we should pray for the candidate to be complete on the day of election. You forgot. Now I am telling you, the one you see that passed is not the only target. Because there's what's called this was called in Ghana election. That's what's called sacrifices that are needed. And these sacrifices are people who are already contested. Many of them have gone to places and put hand in several things. And they need what's called sacrifices. And these sacrifices that they are preparing to carry out, they are not doing these sacrifices with ordinary people. They want to do the sacrifices with fellow contestants. Make it clear. If it is not clear, forget about it. But if it's clear, let it be clear to you. If it's clear, the people that need to take a step should take a step and do the right thing. Pray the prayer that is needed. If you don't know what to pray, you look for Major Prophet of God to stand in the gap and tell you things the way they are in the realms of the spirit. Because this was called programmation and preparation and all things put together by 70 years old. And from there, 75 years old. And the elderly people and what's called stick meeting. And people are now flying into the stick stick meeting. And this was called a staff meeting and stick meeting. You carry your staff, you mount it on the ground, you disappear into the coven of their meeting. And right there in the coven, as they are doing their meeting, major prophet of God penetrated right there in their midst. Because don't forget that Jesus is the head of all principalities and powers, and has what it takes to enter into anywhere that men are gathered, anywhere people are gathered, all over the world. The Spirit is moving. And don't forget the song, all over the world the Spirit is moving, all over the world, as the prophet said it should be, all over the world. Mighty revelation to the glory of the Lord, as the water over the sea. All over the world, the Spirit is moving.